Hello vinyl community, this is Mike with TCAT's Deep Vinyl Tracks, and I'm doing a contest video today. This is for the Stylus Meets Vinyl channel. That is Chris, that's Stylus Meets Vinyl. And for this particular contest, he's celebrating the fact that he got 1,000 subs. So congratulations, Chris, that's great. Really good big milestone for him. Chris was one of the people that a couple of years ago, me, Embryonic Robot, that's Brian, and Northern Revolutions. I hope I got that right. Sorry if I didn't. The four of us were going to meet in Toronto. Well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, so I missed that particular meeting, and I've been sorry for it ever since. Maybe someday, but Chris has got this great channel, and I really enjoy seeing the things that he finds all the time. Thank you, Chris, for giving me a shout out at the first of this contest announcement that you sent. I will leave a link for him down in the comments. All you got to do is click on that. You can go and find his contest announcement video to find out what it's all about. So, what he wants us to do, he's calling this the Around the World contest. And what you are to do is to pick one record from each of the 7 continents, and as a bonus, add a Canadian-based artist or somebody that like a Canadian issue printing or whatever of a record or whatever. So first he wants us to give a shout out. The shout out I would like to give is for Wyoming Dave. He's got a great channel over there. Go check him out. He's got quite an eclectic mix of styles of records that he collects, everything from Bing Crosby to Ronnie Montrose and everything in between. So check out his channel. He's got 239 subs, and go sub him up and watch his stuff. It's a really good channel, so check him out. So as far as this contest goes, what he would prefer is to show records from each of these continents, artists and records, but there's going to be problems with some of these continents, like Antarctica. How are you going to find an artist from Antarctica? Some people are not going to have a lot of artists from other countries. So if you find a record that kind of reminds you of another country, or is based out of another country, or centered around it, then you can show that. So starting out, for the first continent I'm going to pick is Asia, and I wanted to show the record Deep Purple, made in Japan. So there's that. This is a live record, of course, if you're not familiar with it. It's one of the live records that I really enjoy, and it's Deep Purple's, made in Japan. So that's from Asia. Africa is the next continent, and this artist is not from Africa. She's actually Celtic, but the record, the music, the rhythms, and everything are from Africa. And it's Enya's debut solo album, Watermark. There's a couple of tracks on here named sorry, my mind just went blank. It is called Storms in Africa. What an idiot I am. Anyway, this is her album. And a lot of the rhythms, when there are rhythms, are kind of African based. So we'll pick that one for Africa. Next I'm going to North America and up into Seattle for the grunge movement. This was a great album put out by a couple of kind of a grunge supergroup, you could call it. Members from Soundgarden, members from Pearl Jam. This is Temple of the Dog. Of course, Chris Cornell sings most of the songs on here. There's a guest appearance by Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. Uh, Great album, and one of my favorite from that era. And it was actually originally done in remembrance of the lead singer from Mother Love Bone. So there's Temple of the Dog. Great album. Next we go down to South America, and this, I'm sure I have a band from Brazil or from some South American country somewhere, but the easy way out I picked was one of my favorite artists, the Manhattan Transfer. It's a group you don't see very often here in the vinyl community. This is the album called Brazil, and most of the songs on here are based on Brazilian music. Just excellent album by them, one of their best. And if there was a Manhattan Transfer album to have and to own, I would say you need to pick up this one. Brazil is the name of it. The tough one, this one is one that a lot of people may have problems with, Antarctica. Everybody knows there are probably no bands that say they're from Antarctica, the continent of Antarctica. But I think there are enough records out there you can find something that will fit, or something that at least will remind you of it. For me, this is an album I was searching for quite a long time, and from an artist that I really love, and that's Vangelis. This is called Antarctica. How about that? Let's see if I shine the light in the right place. It's kind of a gold inlay here, while the rest of the album cover is white. Very good album, and just beautiful music. Definitely reminds you of it, the Antarctica, the South Pole, around that area. It's based on a music from a film. The artist himself, or the filmmaker, was Japanese, I believe. And this is actually, could have worked for a Japanese printing. I don't have the obi, unfortunately, but there's the inside, everything written in Japanese. So that's cool too. So that could have fit for either one of the continents, but I picked Antarctica since it's called Antarctica, even though it was a Japanese pressing. Next we go to Europe, and this is a project called Bass Communion. This is Bass Communion's first album. Bass Communion is actually solo work from none other than Steve Wilson. There's the track listing. This is a double album. The tracks are quite long, going anywhere from, the first track is 1 minute and 24 seconds. That's the shortest one, of course, and then the longest is 24 minutes 54 seconds. This is experimental. It is based on sound manipulation for the most part, even though this is probably the more musical of the Bass Communion albums, of which there are quite a few of them. And that comes from the continent of Europe. I did have to order that, and that did come from overseas. So, great stuff. Number 7, Australia, the last continent I have to cover, and I'm going to show this band that's a little hard to find around this area, that I didn't even know about until I started watching vinyl community videos. I think I first heard about this from Dylan's channel, but I think Ben Rankin from Australia has also shown them before. This is the record Daddy Cool. That's actually the name of the band, Daddy Cool, and the name of the album is Daddy Who, Daddy Cool. Great stuff. This is music that for some reason never made it big in the States. There's the gatefold. And You know, the cover is not in the best of conditions with some water damage, but of course I picked this one up because it's just one that you don't see very much around here. The out record itself is in great shape on reprise, and one of those that more people need to check out. Just great stuff, great rock and roll. Last but not least, we want to show something that we have from Canada. Since Chris is from Canada, it only makes sense that he wants us to show either a Canadian pressing or, you know, something from a Canadian band. And of course, I'm going to show one of my favorite Canadian bands, Godspeed You Black Emperor, but I've never shown this particular one on my channel yet. And it's Yankee UXO. I did finally find a perfect copy of this. It looks like, well, in fact, it was still sealed when I bought it, but I bought it at a used price. So interestingly enough, this is probably one of their more denser albums. They are post-rock, and one of the premier post-rock bands that is actually still around. And it's on Constellation Records, one of my favorite labels. I love the music that comes from there. They actually produce a lot of post-rock, but Godspeed You Black Emperor is one of the best post-rock bands. They always come with some interesting inserts. This looks like it was written on yellow memo paper. You open that up and there's this big long thing called footnotes, maybe. Basically it tells the credits and a few other things. And just the basic red labels like this. Great album from Godspeed You Black Emperor. I think it's probably their third full album, maybe their fourth release. So there you go. Go over to Stylus Meets Vinyl, check out the channel, watch Chris's contest announcement video, see what it is exactly he wants you to do. I think a lot of people can do this quite easily enough. And thank you for watching.